See, I never know if you see me in this first 12 seconds because I just see that it's warming up. So this is where you catch me not being prepared at all. So and now I'm prepared. Totally. I broke my glasses again. So if they fall off my face, you'll know why. Sorry. My cheap glasses from Home Depot broke again in my pocket. I had a long day. I got here late. Sorry, I'm a little flustered. I just finished a cookie and my water. So I don't have any deaths today. So there's no deaths. Death took a holiday. So there's no deaths. We'll get to that completely, but no deaths. And I screwed up on today and tomorrow, so I don't have that either. But I have this. Look. And I ran to someone today that said, oh my God, you're the guy in the van. I was like, that's awesome. At Kroger. It was my friend Corey, but still. Hi, Corey, if you watch this later. But anyway, she was telling me she watches other things. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? What? You watch what? And I was like, oh boy, wow. Okay, you're those people. You watch those things on YouTube. I was like, I can't watch that stuff. It's too crazy. Anyway, today is, wait, because I can look at yesterday's. Today is Peach Day, Pot de creme. I didn't have any pot de creme. I don't know what it was. I did have peach drink today. And just because, I don't know what, just because. So just because, sure. Yeah, all that. Just because. Just because I have an Allen wrench here that I'm not sure what it's for. I grabbed it for some reason today, so I have an Allen wrench here. So that's my just because. Just because I have an Allen wrench. I have no freaking clue why. Sorry. All right, I'll turn that off. Go watch it. That way I can make comment about it if I remember to do that. Crazy long day. Had to do some stuff. Did my normal job, and then someone else was like, hey, can you come help do this? So I wound up working until almost 10 o'clock. So I'm lucky I have showered. All right, so let's jump into stuff. 1883, remember? Earthquakes, volcanoes, they happen this time of year. Krakatoa, just east of Java in Indonesia, erupted. 200 megatons of TNT is basically the equivalent. That's big. It's a big kaboom. It blew its top. Krakatoa. Shock heard around the world. I believe they heard it all over the world. They said it was one of those the biggest eruptions of a volcano. So it's big. Sorry. 1859, the first successful oil well is drilled in Pennsylvania by Edwin Drake in Titusville, PA. So that is where the first oil well. So the oil was found in Pennsylvania, not Texas first. And that's where it started to come from. And that's where we were getting oil to do our new thing. In 1892, the Met catches fire. So I'm watching The Gilded Age, a series, and they just built the Met and just dedicated it. If you've not seen it, The Gilded Age, it's kind of a period piece series. So I've been watching it a little bit late night. That's, again, the whole couch falling asleep thing, because it's kind of interesting, historical things. But it says the Met caught on fire, took years to fix, and it was opened in 1883. So this is 1892. So it burned only a couple of years after it was originally opened. I think it's probably the people that were from the opposing camp of the Opera House, because they didn't like the Met. The Metropolitan Opera House, because there was a big to-do about the two of them. At least that's in the Gilded Age. It says that. I don't know how historically accurate it is, but they've had some accuracy. Okay, I don't talk about war because there's just so much of it. But this one I just found to be silly. 1896, Britain defeats Zanzibar. Like, Zanzibar is like tiny. Well, the war started at 9:02 a.m. and it concluded at 9:40 a.m. It's the shortest war in history, 38 minutes. The British defeating Zanzibar. So that, I don't usually talk about war or joke about war, but greetings from this peachy day. Hi, Todd. I saw a picture of you today, Todd. I'll see if I can get it downloaded. It was you on the stage at the big room. We were doing something, I think. Now, this one, okay, it's out of order, sorry. 1601, Oliver van Noort, Dutch, if you couldn't figure out the way, Nordet, Nordt, Nordet, circumnavigates the globe. It took him 2 years. So in 1601, they figured the Earth wasn't flat. I'm just saying. 1913, Pator, Nurtsev does a loop-de-loop in an airplane in Kiev. The first loop-to-loop in an airplane. Pator, P-Y-O-T-R, Pator, Nurstorv. I've just butchered that name. I did not take Russian, so I don't have that down. 1918, the Spanish flu hits Boston. Is the second and deadliest wave of the Spanish flu in 1918, which actually ended World War I. If you didn't know that, go read your history books. 1921, J. Eclair of the Acme Packing Company of Green Bay is given a NFL football franchise, the Green Bay Packers, Acme Packing Company. So that is where they got their name from. We talked about this before. I know this came up somewhere because remember, it's a publicly owned thing, but yes, it's a packing company. J.E. Eclair Packing, Acme Packing Company, the Green Bay Packers, which is interesting. I was like, okay, that's how they came about that one name. So at least no one will try and change that name, I'm assuming. 1948, 102 degrees in Cleveland in August. Hottest temperature recorded in Cleveland in August ever. 102 degrees in Cleveland in August on this day. 1953, Roman Holiday is released. That's a funny movie. That has Audrey Hepburn, Gregory Peck, and Eddie Albert. Now, Eddie Albert was in Green Acres, if you remember. We talked about Green Acres and Zsa Zsa Gabor the other day, and actually talked about Ed Ziffel from Green Acres the other day as well. But yes, Eddie Albert. So he started Roman Holiday with these two huge actors, and then he was the head of Green Acres, which is funny. 1955, to set the world record, Guinness Book of World Records is first printed. Now, I do know someone that is in the Guinness Book of World Records. And my friend Adam, he has the world's oldest vlog. He's still doing it, and he'll never get beat. That's one of those things because no one will ever be able to beat it because as long as he keeps going, someone will have to start much younger. So at this point, no one will beat him for the world's longest vlog. Because he's been doing it for I forget. So he's been doing video diaries for decades. He's the guy who did the DeLorean, Adam 4 TVs, and some other stuff. A friend of mine out in LA. 1964, Mary Poppins is released. First showing at Grauman's Chinese Theater. That is Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. We talked about Dick Van Dyke the other day in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the scariest moments in ever from The Child Catcher. Again, if you have not watched that, I highly advise that you go watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It is freaking nightmare fuel. I totally forgot about that until I saw it at length recently, and I was just like, oh my God, no wonder I blocked that out. It is just frightening. It's just one of those things that you're just like, it will live in your head rent free because you're just like, what was that? Children. It's just horrifying. And the toy maker is Benny Hill. But yeah, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Dick Van Dyke. Anyway, Mary Poppins. Less nightmare fuel. In 1965, the good old Beatles hung with Elvis in his LA home. I mean, someone's got to hang with Elvis, right? So why not? And Mary Poppins won 5 Academy Awards. 5. I didn't see which 5 it was because I didn't have time. So I didn't fall down the rabbit hole of Mary Poppins. Just chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. There you go. I did watch that not too long ago. It was on some late night show as I'm flipping through the channels. And I was like, oh, Mary Poppins. I'll watch that. Again, for a guy that has a license plate that says Kill TV, I do happen to watch a lot of damn television. That's just... Well, I have free time now. I never had free time before. Oh, it's going to fall. I'm going to fix this crap. I never had free time. When I was working at the radio station, I was always out 5 nights a week. Easy. I'd come home exhausted and possibly after having a cocktail or two. And I never watched TV. And, working in radio, Kill TV. But now because I get done doing this and I just, it's my release. So I watch a little TV. So I've watched a lot of TV in 18 months. More so than I have in a long, 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 long time. Just saying. What was I doing? Oh, I was looking down here. In 1966, a man basically did a solo sail around the world, around the globe, starting in Plymouth, and it lasted until May of 1967 that this guy took to go around the world, and he did not fall off the edge. So, again, 1601, we knew that the world was round because of the Dutch, and in 1966, we reconfirmed that. So, circumnavigated the globe. They're not falling off the edge of it. 1970, Jimi Hendrix records his last studio album recording in Electric Ladyland, and it is the song Slow Blue. I did not get a chance to listen to it, so I don't think I know that song. I wasn't sure, but I'm going to have to see if I can figure that one out. 1972, the Grateful Dead performed a benefit concert in Springfield Creamery. It's a yogurt company in Oregon. I guess owned by Ken Kesey. If you remember, Ken Kesey was a writer. But yeah, they did a benefit show for him. Hence maybe that's why they got the Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia, because they already did something with the yogurt company, and I guess they felt like they were going to be slighted. So Ben & Jerry's was like, we want this too. Get some Grateful Dead going on there. Apparently no one there was lactose intolerant because of all this yogurt and ice cream and milk products. Just saying. I don't care. 1990, Garth Brooks, second album of the year. No races, no recourse, no whatever. Don't care. It's Garth Brooks. Not my style of music. Sorry. I can hate it. Haters. Don't care. In 2003, Mars, I was wondering this because there's something I saw a while ago, but Mars comes closest to the Earth than it as our orbits go. It comes closer to the Earth than it has in over 60,000 years in 2003. It's still far, though. It was still like 464,000 miles away, but that's still close. It would still take them 18 months to get there, but that was a much closer time than it has been in 60,000 years. Mars closest. 2004, the movie Hero with Jet Li is the very first Chinese language movie to become number one in the box office. So good for Jet Li. I don't know if I saw that movie. I mean, obviously it's a Chinese language movie, so you would have to see it in, subtitles, but that's fine. I put the TV on subtitles all the damn time because I have to turn it too loud because I'm deaf as a doornail from going to concerts for 30 years, or I can't just understand the subtext and I turn it down really low and I just read the words. It seems easier that way sometimes. It also keeps me reading because that's about my only reading comprehension these days, apparently. The Emmy Awards in 2006 went to 24 and The Office, and also Kiefer Sutherland and I always pronounce her name wrong. Mariska Hargitay. Hargitay from Law and Order. Oh, speaking of Keith, I watched the final episode of The Righteous Gemstones last night. I had not watched the final episode. I forgot that it ended. I kind of watched it on and off over the times it was on and then binged it, but forgot the last episode. If you haven't seen The Righteous Gemstones, it's worth watching. It's funny. It's definitely... I don't know. The characters are really relatable because they're such assholes. But you just kind of, you almost feel bad for them, but then you definitely don't. You're just like, what a jackass. So, yeah, it's John Goodwin, you feel bad for a little bit, but you just don't feel bad for the kids because they're just such assholes. But it's good. It's funny. It's definitely funny. Keeps you guessing. Yeah, The Righteous Gemstones. Worth checking out. Again, more TV. 2018, ex-Spice Girl Mel B. Now, I have no idea who the Spice Girls are. I thought they were just like, Vanilla Spice and, Taco Spice and whatever. But Mel B? What the hell spice is Mel B? Anyway, she checks herself into rehab after her acrimonious divorce for booze and sex addiction. So, good old Mel B, ex-Spice Girls. I don't know if that's, maybe she was hanging out with Rainier from Nexium, whose birthday was yesterday. We fell down that rabbit hole of that crazy sex cult. I don't know. Maybe? Who knows? And then 1 year ago, today, Oasis announced after a 16-year hiatus that they're going to do a reunion tour. Now, I have not gotten tickets to see Oasis. I may not get to see them on this reunion tour. I don't know. I don't know when they're coming to wherever. I have not looked. I've been so out of it when it comes to the music scene. I don't know. So who knows? I have no idea when they're coming, and I may or may not go to see Oasis. I've met them both separately, and I've seen them both separately, but maybe let's get to see them together. Who knows? I don't, personally. Well, I turn the page. Have you seen this? So that's the show that I co-starred in. I'll use, and my cameo appearance of the guy in the van. So check it out. Make comments. See if we can get more people interested and involved so that I can do this further and I can have that Kardashian Hilton job of getting paid to exist. That'd be nice. I'd like to get paid to exist. All right, now this is completely out of order because it was another page and I screwed up, so sorry. 2004, Craig Kilborn does his last show for the Late Late Show. Okay? He did 1,190 episodes. Now, I think that's almost every day, so that's a good amount, right? That's like, what, 4 years, 5 years? If it's every day, but it doesn't have vacations. But so, yeah, I didn't do the math again. Running late, so I didn't get to dive into anything deep tonight. My apologies. It happens. My glasses are broken, so that's why they keep falling off my face. I'm like, now everything's blurry because they're not sitting properly, so they're kind of canny-wampus. So my one eye is seeing better than the other one. Sorry. See? Broken. In 2008, The Wrestler premieres in the Venice Film Festival and receives and wins the Golden Lion. That was a good movie. I like that. What's funny is the part that was filmed, there was parts that were filmed in New Jersey. The strip club that it went to is Cheeks Strip Club, which is like close to my house. And I think at some point I went into that strip club and in my youth at some point. But yes, the Wrestler was a good movie. I enjoyed that very much. But yes, it had a lot of New Jersey connection to it. So there was places that I was like, wait, we've been there. We've been to that place. 2013, Gravity also appears in the Venice Film Festival. That was with the Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. I forget reading somewhere about there was things that were very realistic in that, and things that weren't very realistic in it. I forget which it was, but there was some article about that movie, about some of the things were very realistic, I think, or it wasn't realistic. I don't remember now. It was a while ago when I didn't have a chance to fall into any rabbit holes tonight. I was lucky to even get as much information as I did. Like I said, after we get through the birthdays, I'm going to be like, and deaths? No, I'd have none. I was like, holy crap, it's 1 minute to 11. And then 2014, Birdman, starring Michael Keaton. Wins Best Picture for 2015, also on the Venice Film Festival premiere. I liked Birdman. I really did. That was a really good movie, I thought. It was just quirky and weird. I liked Michael Keaton in it. Just the whole sort of absent-minded, talking to himself kind of thing. I thought that was a good movie. So Birdman, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend watching it. Again, I'm going to recommend things that I like, and if they're not popular in popular culture, don't care. Just not my thing, man. I definitely enjoy the weird avant-garde and a little bit different. So, yes, that's me. Let's see. Born in this day in 1877, Charles Rolls. Can you guess what he co-founded? Give you a hint. He was an aviator and a car guy. Rolls-Royce. So Charles Rolls of Rolls-Royce. I mean, I knew it had to be people. It makes sense. Rolls-Royce, it was just invented. But yes, so, they make jet engines and everything else. Now, I only put this in me because I thought it was funny. Don't really know about it or anything, but in 1890, Man Ray, his name was Man Ray, and he was into Dada. Now, Dada is surrealism. It's art and everything. But the minute I saw Man Ray, all it made me think about was SpongeBob, because, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to fall down the rabbit hole. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy on SpongeBob, one of their nemesis is Man Ray, and, the Dirty Bubble, of course. But Man Ray is one of their nemesis. So when I saw that, I was like, I kind of giggled to myself, and I was like, oh, Man Ray. And then Dada, which I think is a great band. El Subliminal Rosso is a really good album by Dada. If you've ever not heard it, go Google it and go listen to it. I think it's a really good album. Dada. Anyway, 1896. Leon Theremin, a Russian electronic enthusiast and inventor. Now, come on, you know what that is. The theremin, that crazy musical instrument that, you move your hand near it and it goes. The theremin, yes. So, yeah, that was named after him, which I didn't really think about ever until, well, I guess that would be named after someone. Why not, right? 1906, Ed Gein, I think is the proper pronunciation. Ed Gein, convicted serial killer who inspired both the movie Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacres. They found him, I guess, with mom's corpse and everything. So, yeah, he was a twisted dude in real life. I mean, this is one of those like, okay, wow, you are really a batshit crazy human. Like, whoa, all right, who knew? 1908, Lyndon Baines Johnson, the 36th President of the United States. He was from Texas. There's all sorts of stories about Lyndon Baines Johnson driving his car, shooting guns, and talking about his pants and fitting his crotch, and he was just a good old boy from Texas. Just Lyndon Baines Johnson, the 36th president. Yeah, if you ever read about him, he was an interesting cat, to say the least. Actress Tuesday Weld, no, 1953. 43. I forget what movie she was in, but she was a beauty back then. 1947, Barbara Bach. Now I don't know if Barbara Bach. She was here in Columbus when see, I didn't have a chance. I ran out of time. I think she's the one married to Joe Walsh. One of them is, which is the other one's married to Ringo Starr. They're sisters, and then she and her sister were both here with Joe Walsh when he played that show, and Joe Walsh Avenue is dedicated. I have a sign for it and a picture with it. And here in Columbus, when they did that All Ohio thing with Nine Inch Nails and Joe Walsh and Dave Grohl, the Foo Fighters, and a bunch of other bands played. It was a charity for veterans, Vets Aid, something that was here. But anyway, she was here in Columbus for that. 1952, Paul Rubens. We've talked about Paul Rubens. Pee Wee Herman. Again, good documentary on Pee Wee Herman. He definitely had a rough go of it. You know, one of those just kind of kick him when he's down kind of things. You know, kick him when I'm up, kick him when they're down, kick him when up, kick him all around. Paul Rubens, born on this day. Screw up the name. 1953. Alex Lifeson of Rush. I've told the crazy story about Rush, the Rush concert. There was a time that I went to go to a Rush concert, and this was in a suburb in New Jersey that I grew up in, and a bunch of me and my friends were all going to go to the Rush concert. We were pre-gaming. We were underage and we were kids. Pre-gaming for the Rush concert to drive to like the Meadowlands or something. I think that's where it was playing. And the cops showed up, and this was like Barney Fife cops. This was 80s. This was probably the 80s, early 80s. And like the Barney Fife cops show up, and they're just like, okay, everybody, busted. So they made us follow them to the police station because we had like 5 cars. So they put a car in front of us and a car behind us, and like this escorted us down to the police station. Again, this is you know, back when cops were not doing craziness. I mean, still kind of wackadoo, but anyway. I'm going to show my small room while I fix the camera because I'm catching it today. Hey, there's my small room. So see, this is what I do when I like normally change the scene because I can have to fix the camera. See, I have to just touch it. The camera requires that I touch it. But there you go. So I'm back. So at least it didn't go to the black this time because that whole fade to black thing, you're like, what did I screw up again? Anyway, we had to go down to the police station and, you know, hiding booze and other illegal substances back then, which are not illegal now, in like the vents of the air conditioning vents and wherever we could hide the stuff. And one of the girls got busted with like a bong in her purse. And they called all our parents, and all our parents had to come down and, you know, kind of bail us out while the cops were like, we busted these kids doing marijuana and drinking in the streets. And, you know, all of our parents was like, oh, shocking, not that. But my dad, who was, he was Ward Cleaver, Beamer Cleaver, pretty straight-laced guy. Grew up blue collar in Worcester, Massachusetts, and funny guy, but he was pretty strict, pretty blue collar. You know, basically, you know, like the whole, when I fell down and dislocated my shoulder the first time, put his martini down, put his New York Times down, walked down, picked me up, popped it back in, like, go back and play. That if that tells you anything, that was the kind of guy my dad was. But police station, and they pull out this little water pipe, and my dad, and everyone's just kind of like, you know, all the kids are just like, because, you know, all our parents are here, and we're all just like, crap. They're talking about the water pipe. My dad grabs it, and he puts it to his mouth. My dad was a pipe smoker, so he always smoked a pipe with like Captain Black was the smell in our house always. But he takes this little teeny water pipe bong, puts it to his mouth, and he just kind of shoots this look at me and goes, gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. And of course, I'm just mortified, just mortified. And all my friends are like, oh, dude, Mr. Malloy's like, and it just, when we got in the car, no words were spoken. My dad didn't say a word to me. He didn't yell. He didn't scream. He was not like that. This is just the silent treatment whatsoever. And because I am exactly who you know me to be, I asked my dad, so does this mean I don't get to go to the concert? Didn't say a word. Just kind of turns his head slowly and looks at me with this look like, you are such a jackass. And then again, never spoke of it. You didn't get disciplined for it. There was no punishment. It was just sort of like, what the hell did I do to deserve this kind of look? Anyway, that's my Rush story. I'm sure I'll tell it again another time about the whole Rush incident. But yes, I did eventually get to go see Rush at the Meadowlands or whatever. Not that show, clearly. And there was no repercussions for any of us from that. It just, all our parents were just like, okay, kids are kids. Don't be dumb. What can I say? 1963, Downtown Julie Brown from MTV, born on this day. 1969, Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. I mean, I whisper my dog and it licks my face. I mean, I'm just like, stop it. Stop doing that. 1979, birthday with this guy. Look at that. Who's that? That's Aaron Paul. That was Jesse from Breaking Bad. I got to meet him in LA. He was really nice, actually. It was a really, really fun and interesting interaction with him. That's where I went to go to. That's the same night I met Jimmy Kimmel, and I forget. There's a bunch of other actors and stuff that we got to meet. We went to go see Tears for Fears in LA. But it was very funny because we were kind of backstage, and I see him, and I just kind of like, it was like, oh my God, that's Aaron Paul. And he like walks over and he goes, hi, I'm Aaron. And I'm just like, yes, nice to meet you. He's like, oh, did you want to get a picture? I'm like, that'd be awesome. He was like, sure. And he just like, boop, grab a picture. It was really cool because he was just, sometimes you don't get that from rock stars for actors. But he was just super nice and just like, hey, how you doing? I'm Aaron. It's like, you are, yes. I'm aware of that. That's not unknown to me. And then Patrick Adams of Suits is his birthday today. I didn't know if I'd like that show at first, and then totally got into it and binge watched the entire series. It was good. It was a good thing. But yeah, that was a binge watcher for sure. I don't know if I would have enjoyed that. Like I said, I'm really, really bummed out that the next episode doesn't even come out to the 29th of Invasion. I had no idea that it was still ongoing on Apple TV. I thought it was something that I was going to catch, like, oh, I'll watch it. And I binged it up to the point where it's current. I'm like, oh, crap. I hate that. I'm so spoiled. I can't do the whole, delayed gratification for shows anymore. I just can't. Sorry. I know it's horrible. And deaths today, I have none. So I don't know who famously died today. It'll probably be someone, like, oh, well, was this person? Be like, crap, I have no idea because I didn't look. I didn't get a chance to because I ran out of time. So just death took a holiday today. There's no deaths. No deaths at all. Everybody lived. It's gonna be just like what happened last time I didn't look. It's gonna be Elvis. I'm like, shit, Elvis. I could have had a whole Elvis thing, but no, I wasn't here, so I got to just gloss over it the following day. So I will look tonight. No, I won't look tonight. I'm not gonna lie. I'll look tomorrow. I'll try and get home before 10 o'clock at night so I can do it, because it takes about an hour, just to do this little thing, because writing it down helps me remember it so I can write sloppily and remember it. Otherwise, if I just look at it, you're not, my memory isn't right the way. I always did take copious notes. That's the one thing. Even when I was like in school, high school, college, when I was a medic, all that stuff, I took copious notes because I always found that writing it, you have to, it's better than typing it. Typing it, for some reason, I feel my retention isn't there. I think that's for a lot of people. When you actually do the act of writing something, that helps. I think my hand is healing, so I don't think I broke it. It still really hurts a lot, but at least I can squeeze my hand now. Whereas before I could not at all. I could not grasp anything with this part of my hand. There was no. I was like, and it's just falling, but I can at least grasp it now. And so, and the rest of me is healed. The scabbing's all gone on my shoulder. My swollen ankle is gone, and I got new sneakers today. And guess what? They're the exact same type. They're cooler looking, but they don't have the looped shoelace. I haven't worn them since I fell. Tie your shoelaces, kids. And remember, the only reason I'm not wearing them because I think they're covered in poison ivy, because I did get poison ivy, because look, see, I've got some on my arm here, in the crook of my arm, and I definitely have some on my ankles. Not bad, though. As far as poison ivy goes, mild case. I'm really fine with that. Like I said, I've had some horrific poison ivy. There's slides. So my dad would take slides, 35 millimeter slides, because he would do slideshows. There were slideshows when I was a kid, okay? Because that was the way to do it. We did not have photographs. My dad has slides. So we had the whole carousel slide thing, and, slides. Here's our vacation. It's slide time. That was real, man. That people did that stuff. Now you can just watch them on the computer, but we didn't have computers. We had rotary phones and long cords so you could talk in your bedroom because there was only one sitting on the countertop. Poison ivy feels so good to scratch. It doesn't, though. No, I hate it. They freaking hate scratching it. I am the person that I figured out everything you can possibly do to not scratch it. So if you do have to scratch it and still itches, boiling water, like as hot as you can stand under the sink or shower, bleach. I put bleach onto it to like tear it open and then put bleach on it, the raw flesh burning just to make it stop. Calamine, whatever. Oh yeah, I've done everything. I always found that the ocean was great for it. So if I got in the summertime, I was happy to go to the beach because the salty water in the Jersey Ocean actually would dry it out like an astringent pretty fast. I hate poison ivy. I hate scratching it too, because then it's just, then it just gets worse and you get scabs and blood and it just, ugh. I'm not a fan of it. I actually was poisoning it this evening. I had to go back to the house where there was a bunch of poison ivy, and I was, spraying the toxic chemicals that's going to give me carcinoma or some horrible cancer because I've been spraying this stupid shit like Roundup or whatever it is. I don't know. And then, tasting metal. Do we taste pennies? Yeah. Not great. Not great. Sorry, I'm poisoning the world. But poison ivy. I found some in my yard. And I was like, whoa, when did you get here? I actually put on the latex gloves and got a little snippy thing and kind of got down there very gingerly, pulled the branch up as far as it got down to the roots. And I stabbed into earth with the little, the little tongy thing you use for getting dandelions out, and got all the stuff out, and then got out and just kind of threw the neighbor's yard. I'm like, there you go. Go over there where your barking dog is. That woke me up at 7 o'clock this morning. Seriously, man, if you got a barky dog, dude, just don't open the door and let the thing out, okay? If it barks, let it back in the house. Don't just leave it out there for half an hour. I'm trying really hard not to be that guy that's sending messages to my neighbors like, hey, jackass, bring your friggin' dog in the house. It's barking at 7 o'clock in the morning. Some of us don't have to have kids that need to be up that early. Seriously. No hate. Got no hate. Just dislike and maybe foul temper. But no hate. There was an article in the Columbus Underground today. I could put the link somewhere about the building, about the old radio station property being sold, being rezoned for a 6-story, 95-unit apartment building, and the demolition of the Swiss house. Yeah, there it is. It's happening. So I'm sad to see it go, but I am so happy to see it go, because it has been a great, horrible, really everything at this point. Yes, glad your dog isn't a barker. Yeah, my dog only barks like briefly, but it's definitely not a barking constantly. Like, shut the F up. Seriously, bro. What is with the, like, you know it's barking. It's got to be annoying you too. Is it why you just leave it outside because it barks in the house and you want to do like, it's like, then just get rid of it. Get a shock collar. Do something. Don't just like do nothing. I mean, I hate to be that person, but you know, it's like a crying, screaming, just like headache constantly. And it's a yippy dog too. It's a like boxer that's ugly as hell. Sorry. If you ever watch this, neighbor, sorry. It's just the truth. You have to know it. You have to know that dog's annoying. Okay? You have to know it's annoying. I mean, it is. It can't not be to you as well. It's no one is able to resist the annoyance of this. I'm just saying. Crap. So it's Wednesday already, and I only know it's Wednesday because garbage was picked up yesterday, and I saw the blue bins out for recycling for tomorrow, so I know tomorrow's Thursday. I mean, that is how I have to guide my life, by what bin is out. Hey, it's green, so it must be Tuesday. Oh, it's blue, it must be Thursday. Saturday is the first home opener of the Ohio State University football game against the University of Texas. Now, what I was told by my friend, who I persuaded to go to the game, so I will go to the game, is that if you get down there early enough, that you may be able to get some delicious Texas barbecue, because they're very generous in sharing barbecue with people. So, I may not wear Texas gear, but I will definitely go see if I can maybe bring a sign, I'm here for the barbecue. See if someone goes, well, come on, get some barbecue. I can do that. That would be funny. I might film that. I'm here for the barbecue. And walk around and see if somebody invites me for barbecue. I'll do that. I will definitely make a sign. I'm here. I'm only here for the barbecue. Only here for the barbecue. It's not true, but hey, I will definitely go sample some barbecue. Why not, right? If people are going to be hospitable and give away free barbecue, I mean, that's what I'm going to do. I'm making a note of that right now. I am only here for the barbecue. I will take my GoPro and I will get this filmed. Oops, that pen sucks. Let's try this one. I'm only here for the barbecue. I just BBQ. I guess just BBQ, right? That says enough. Just, yeah. So I'm only here for the barbecue. So I will make a sign, like, you know, we'll work for food. You know, homeless, please give me money. I'm only here for the barbecue. See how many barbecues I can get. See how hospitable Texas is before the game, and then how hospitable they are after, depending on who is the victor or not. Don't know. I have not watched any preseason. And again, I'm not a sports guy, but it is the camaraderie of the Ohio State University football game, and I can walk to it. That's what's so nice. I literally am close enough that I can walk to the stadium that holds 100,000 people. It's like a 15-minute walk. So that's not really that shabby. That's kind of cool if you think about it. You know, it takes that long when you go to like Cleveland or Cincinnati to park your car and you have to walk into the stadium. To be able to walk in, I'm fine with it. You know, I know other people aren't, but such is life. Such is life. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's it for now. I think I've spoken enough spokens. I've talked enough talks. Again, I apologize for my lack of preparation for who died and what is tomorrow. I could look real fast. What is tomorrow? Let's see. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow is National. No, that's today. Thank you. Hold on. Tomorrow is. Sorry, I hate doing this. Tomorrow is National Thoughtful Day, National Red Wine Day, National Power Rangers Day, okay, National Bow Tie Day, and National Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day. Okay, there you go. I'll have to look at, oh wait, also National Cherry Turnover Day. Okay, interesting. So I'll have to look and see if I can figure out any of those that really matter. Maybe I'll have a cherry turnover. I knew they make cherry like the Hostess cherry things. Maybe I can find one of those and I go to the Stoney's Market tomorrow. Play the lottery. I'll go to Stoney's. Maybe I can hit the lottery and end all this suffering. I'll get a better studio and have real guests. And maybe I won't have to do it at 11 o'clock at night. I'd still do it at 11 o'clock at night. That seems like the best time for me. I'm awake. You're not, but that's all right. Right. At least it won't be cold and freezing like the CBJ outdoor game. Yes, that's true. It will probably not be cold and freezing, at least not the first game. But there could be cold and freezing at later games. And like I said, I don't know where my seats are, but I think they're like, I haven't really looked because everything's on my phone. But I don't think my seats are where they used to be. I think I got moved again, which is, you know, it is what it is. But I think my seats are now like in C deck, like way high up. Not because I was like 4 rows from the very bottom, just above the tunnel, so I could see the players coming in and out. Now I think I'm like all the way up, like way up in the closed end. My favorites were my seats that I was used to be undercover. I was in the shade. It didn't matter if it was raining. It didn't matter if it was sunny or snowing or anything, because just right there in the closed end, and I just was fine with that. I think I chose end seats, though. I always like seats 1 and 2, so I can at least be on the end. I don't have to hop over 100 people. Everyone has to hop over me, and that's fine, because that way I just, don't get out of your way. I'll figure it out by tomorrow. I'll let you know where my seats are. I'll see if I can even pop up a little icon thing. So if you want to come find me, if you ever go to the game, you can be like, I know where he is. You can come find me. All right, I'm leaving. I'm going upstairs. I'm going to go watch The Gilded Age a little bit, I think. And then I'm going to pass out because it was a long-ass day. So thank you so much for being here. What a wonderful time I had this evening. I'm definitely, happy that everyone's here. It was episode 88. 88? Can you believe that? That's crazy. 88 days straight doing this. Zeroing in on 100. Episode 100. I promise I'll have something done by episode 100. Oh, tomorrow is the deadline for me to get my Randsanity trademark done. Totally didn't do it. I totally screwed that up. So I'm going to wind up getting fined $100 for that. Crap. I'll try. If I can pull together my stuff at some point before the end of the day tomorrow, which I probably won't. I'll try and get it submitted, but I just have so much crap to do. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, such is life, right? That's the way it is. We're born, we live, we die. And we're just in the living part at this point. So just living. I'm just here for the barbecue. I'm making that sign. Have a great rest of the evening. Have a great Thursday. Happy hump day. And I will look for you tomorrow night. And we'll do this all again, but totally different. Because that's all we can do, right? This is the new normal. So get used to it. It's not going to be this way forever. Either direction. Thank you. Fade to black. And pay taxes. Yeah, pay taxes. That's also true. Also so true.